guys, this is Greg Farley from the Wiseguys, and I'm here with yet another video. This time it's the summer 2018 hand trap study featuring all your favorite hand traps. Of course, this is something we got to talk about just ahead of Nats. I know my page doesn't cater only to meta players, but with such a big event that Nats is, we have to kind of talk about it. So let's jump straight into it. Don't forget, if you see me at Nats, please get me these dice. I'm Pegasus. I need that pink dice. I'll leave some comments on how to find me and hit me up on Facebook. I need those dice. I want all of them, but I especially need the Millennium Eye. But jumping straight into it, the strengths of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. She beats Rogue. She stops consistency cards. She stops Reincarnation. She's versatile versus meta and Rogue. And she flat out blows out field spells. Her weaknesses are: she's hard to gauge what card to stop against a plethora of search ability, average against several top decks, not all of them, and she's pretty much outmatched when she gets bum rushed by a bunch of spells. So the verdict for her is the mainer side. Jumping straight into the second one, Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Very sexy card. Her strengths are: she negates activations, she takes away powerful spells like Soul Charge, Goki Rematch, and Reborn. She counters Called by the Grave, and she's very, very strong versus Goki, as I just noted. Weaknesses are: she's a tad too situational, there's timing situations, and her card economy just doesn't come up. Eventually, I believe she will be as powerful as Ash, but just not right now. Right now, she's just kind of meh. But the verdict on her is you either put her nowhere or you put her in your side deck. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. We're kind of jumping straight through these because we want to kind of give you a lot of content very quickly, but her strengths are removal and clearance. She's very strong versus Rogue, and she's the field spell annihilator. You know, the diagrams, blah, 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 blah. But she's unexpected at the moment, and she beats multi-roll. Her weaknesses are: she can only snipe power cards. She's terrible versus the Brandish Links, which is what is important right now. She gets stuck in your hand, and she's just not the best card to really get into a grind game with. So the verdict is she's either nowhere or you main one, specifically for multi-roll mainly, or field spells. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is a beautiful card that we all know and love. But of course, she has certain strengths like eliminating extra deck boss monsters. She cuts off card advantage versus Brandish, and she flat out alters people's playstyle and entire games if she resolves well. Her weaknesses are: she needs a follow-up or another hand trap, and the longer the game goes, she can be completely dead. So she's either bad later in the game or she's dead in an entire matchup. And with that, we pretty much say you either main her because of what you know you're going to play, or in a big event you side her. But I feel like she has to be somewhere. The trap, hand trap, is an infinite impermanence. His strengths are dual turn effect veiler, on-field utility, strong counter to every deck, extreme meta relevance, and he cuts through chain links. The weaknesses are: it's not as strong against establishment and doesn't stop onslaughts. And of course, that price tag is out of sight. If you can't get your hands on one, it's going to be a pain in the butt. But it's definitely main deck or side deck. Moving on, Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is a very, very powerful card. Who would have ever thought a 0/0 hand trap, shout out to Effect Veiler, would do so much? She blankets entire turns in tutor heavy format, so search heavy format. Completely can shut off momentum, and she's strong versus the best decks. The top 2 or 3 decks is very amazing against. Weaknesses are: it needs to be capitalized on. If you don't have a deck that can push for damage, you're not going to do so well. So either you go all in on Droll and Lock, or you stay out of Droll and Lock. Of course, we can't forget Psyframe Gamma and Effect Veiler. If you can't quite afford Psyframe Gamma, if you can't quite afford the impermanence, then these are two very, very strong options, especially Effect Veiler, because it's the same card pretty much, except you won't get the column chess match that goes on with that card. Gamma is the one. Gamma is the one that I'm starting to see pop up around the world, around top list and top in national competitions in other countries. It's an outstanding card, but of course we all are terrified to brick and draw driver. So it remains to be seen how popular Gamma is really going to be. But for right now, it's a very strong card as it chases certain cards completely off the board and where they can't resolve. And that is a very, very strong trait. So again, that was our hand trap analysis. Of course, there could be more in depth and we could jump more into that over time. But just for going into Nats, these are the hand traps. These are the ones you should measure out. If you have one that you feel like didn't quite make the list, there are some off the radar ones that we didn't quite talk about. If you have any ideas as to what we said, or you disagree with what we say, leave us some comments on what you think the best hand traps are and where they should be, whether that's completely out of your deck, in the main deck, or sided. Again, this is Greg Farley from Team Wiseguys, aka Pegasus. YG baby, signing out.